Spain celebrates. Princess Leonor's lavished Denmark wedding marks a new royal era in 2025. It began as a royal ceremony, but what unfolded became something far greater, a turning point in modern monarchy. On a radiant morning in Copenhagen, the world witnessed history. The future Queen of Spain, Princess Leonor, walked down the aisle not only toward her prince but toward a new era, one defined by love, unity, and the rebirth of European royalty. Spain watched in awe. Denmark glowed with pride. And across continents, millions stood still, realizing they were witnessing more than a royal wedding. They were seeing the future of royalty itself, elegant, human, and deeply real. This was not just another royal spectacle. It was a celebration that reminded Europe what grace, heart, and modern monarchy truly mean. The morning that redefined royalty. The streets of Copenhagen had never felt so alive. Flags waved, flowers bloomed, and a golden haze settled over the city as dawn rose on May 18, 2025, the day Europe had been waiting for. From Madrid to London, from Oslo to Rome, all eyes turned toward Denmark's Amalienborg Palace. The atmosphere carried a heartbeat, the rhythmic pulse of excitement, history, and emotion. In the heart of the palace, Princess Leonor of Spain, poised, radiant, and calm, prepared for her moment. She wasn't just marrying Prince Christian of Denmark. She was stepping into history. Her gown, designed by Spain's top royal couturier, was nothing short of breathtaking, ivory silk embroidered with golden threads symbolizing the unity of two nations. The subtle Spanish lace, woven by artisans from Toledo, met Danish pearls sewn into the veil, a marriage of heritage and artistry. When Leonor looked into the mirror, she wasn't just seeing herself as a bride. She was seeing a bridge, connecting two kingdoms, two traditions, and two futures. To the arrival that shook Europe. As the royal carriage rolled through the cobblestone streets, a sea of voices erupted in cheers. Viva Leonor! Mixed with, Leve Dronningen, long live the Queen. It was more than a welcome. It was an emotional symphony. When Leonor stepped out, the world stopped. The morning sun touched her veil like light blessing a new beginning. Cameras flashed, flags waved, and even seasoned reporters admitted, they had never seen a royal moment this pure, this alive. Queen Letizia watched from her carriage window, proud, composed, but visibly emotional. King Philippe's posture was steady, yet his expression betrayed a father's heart. Spain's future queen was about to become Denmark's princess, and yet, somehow, she remained entirely her own. 3. The ceremony that melted borders. Inside Christiansborg Palace, the grand cathedral glowed in gold and marble. Royalty from across Europe filled the pews, King William and Queen Catherine from the UK, Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden, the royal houses of Norway, Belgium, and Monaco. When the orchestra began the Spanish-Danish hybrid hymn composed specially for the event, the entire hall shimmered. As Leonor entered, her slow, steady walk captured every eye. Her poise reflected her mother's elegance and her father's strength. But there was something else, something new. Confidence. Warmth. Humanity. At the altar, Prince Christian's expression was pure love. He couldn't look away. When the two clasped hands, the tension of centuries-old monarchy softened. It wasn't about power. It was about partnership. And when they exchanged vows, the silence was so deep that you could hear the emotion in every breath. Christian's voice trembled slightly as he said, "You are my equal, my heart, and my forever home." Leonor smiled, her eyes glistening. "Together, we serve not as rulers, but as hope." Those words echoed through the palace, and across Europe. For Spain in celebration. Back home, Spain erupted in joy. Massive screens lit up across Madrid, Barcelona, and Seville. Crowds filled plazas, singing royal anthems, waving flags, and shouting, "Viva la Reina Leonor." At the royal palace in Madrid, a national celebration began. Children released white doves over the gardens, while orchestras played in Leonor's honor. This wasn't just pride, it was relief, love, and renewal all at once. For years, Spain's monarchy had faced challenges. But today, it stood stronger than ever, redefined by the young woman who carried it with dignity and grace. News outlets called it the day Spain smiled again. Even political critics praised Leonor's authenticity, her poise, her composure, her quiet power. She wasn't just following in her parents' footsteps. She was building her own path. 5. A night of royal glory. As evening fell, the palace transformed into a glittering kingdom of lights. Chandeliers sparkled, violins sang, and laughter filled the air. The royal dinner brought together world leaders, artists, and friends of both nations. Every detail, from the gold-edged tableware to the floral centerpieces of Spanish carnations and Danish tulips, symbolized the fusion of two royal traditions. Then came the first dance. Under a canopy of golden lights, Leonor and Christian glided across the marble floor. The orchestra played a soft Spanish waltz, gently transitioning into a Danish classic. It was elegant, timeless, and impossibly romantic. Queen Letizia watched with tears glimmering in her eyes. King Felipe smiled, finally allowing his pride to show. And as the dance ended, the applause shook the hall, a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. 6. The world reacts. By midnight, the world couldn't stop talking. Social media platforms crashed under the flood of wedding clips and live commentary. The wedding that unified Europe, read the Times. Spain reborn through love, declared El País. Even the Washington Post called it the modern monarchy moment the world needed. Videos of Queen Letizia's emotional reaction went viral. Millions shared clips of Leonor's smile, her vows, her dance, each one gathering millions of views within hours. For once, global headlines weren't about politics, crisis, or scandal. They were about joy, love, renewal. This wasn't just a wedding. It was a shared celebration across nations. 7. A new royal era begins. As dawn broke the next morning, something had shifted. Spain woke with renewed pride. Denmark beamed with happiness. And Europe felt unified in a way it hadn't for decades. Leonor and Christian didn't just represent two royal families, they represented the new face of monarchy itself. Younger, more human, deeply connected to the people. Gone was the distant, untouchable aura of old royalty. In its place stood a couple who smiled, hugged, laughed, and held hands not just for cameras, but because they were truly in love. The Spanish press called it La Nueva Corona, the new crown. A symbol of evolution, not tradition alone. 8. Behind the palace walls. After the celebrations ended, the couple retreated for a private dinner with family. No cameras, no reporters, just intimate laughter, stories, and quiet gratitude. Queen Letizia reportedly told Leonor, "You've done what none of us could. You've given Spain its soul back." Leonor replied softly, "I only followed my heart." That single line spread like wildfire through social media, a line that would later be engraved on commemorative coins marking the historic union. 9. The symbolism of unity. Historians quickly recognized the significance of this union. Two of Europe's oldest monarchies had become one in spirit. The House of Bourbon and the House of Glucksburg, names that once stood apart, now symbolized cooperation, modern diplomacy, and cultural fusion. Spain's energy and passion met Denmark's stability and grace. Together, they represented the Europe of the future, young, united, and hopeful. And it all began with two hearts that chose each other not because of power, but because of love. 10. The legacy of 2025. Months after the wedding, documentaries, books, and retrospectives still couldn't capture all that the day had meant. For many, it wasn't about the jewels, the dresses, or the royal titles. It was about something deeper. It was about hope. Hope that tradition can evolve. That royalty can still inspire. That love, even under the crown, can be real. Princess Leonor's wedding had become more than a moment. It had become a message that leadership in the modern age isn't about command, but compassion. As Spain continues to celebrate, one truth shines above all. Leonor didn't just marry a prince. She married her destiny, and in doing so, she gave her country a future it could believe in. And so, the world watches, still captivated, as this new royal era unfolds. A new chapter in European history has begun. And its first line reads, "Spain celebrates, the crown shines, and love reigns supreme."